All right, gonna go ahead and go live this morning and get rolling. It's Wednesday, and we're gonna do part 2 of Overpass, and then we are going to probably do a little automation this morning. When I say automation, I mean um we're gonna use some AI to help us uh, do some learning. So that'll be fun. That will be fun. All right. So let's go ahead and start moving forward here. Okay, just trying to get ready and trying to get everything set up. Almost ready. So we did Overpass last time, and it was we got all the way through it. Well, when I say we got all the way through it, we got the foothold, got the user flag, and then after we got the user flag, we went ahead and it was getting near the end of my time, and so we just used PwnKit and we just blew through it and crushed it and got root. But we're gonna go back today and actually do it the correct way, the way it was intended to be done. And then after we do the intended way that it should be done, then we'll go ahead and we will work on that automation stuff that I was talking about. All right, so here we go. So we've got the machine up. Let's look. Here it is. It's Overpass on Try Hack Me. I've got the machine up. I've got 146 minutes left, which is more than enough time. This is my tab for cursor. This is my HTTP server that I'm serving from Notes Tools HTML. This is just a straight up. This is the terminal I was working in the other day, and then this is another terminal I was working in. And we got in here by using the SSH. Let's pull the. Here we go. So it's 10.10, 142, 143. Hey, good morning. How's it going? So let's just go ahead and jump in. We're going to get this done. Oh, I've still got that. I think we're just going to get straight back in here this morning. And it was James 13. Maybe. Oh, it's got the old IP address. 10.10.142.43. Could not resolve that. Are we struggling this morning? Ping 10.10 142.43. We're pinging it. All right, so that worked. Oh, I see what I did. Oh my gosh. Okay. You can't have 3 10s. That's not gonna work. Okay, and then it was James 13, I think. I don't know how I remember that. That was it. Okay, James 13 was the actual thing for it. Okay, so here we are. So now we're inside it again. And let's do our recon inside the box over again, because that's the whole point of this one, is we're doing this kind of inside recon. So let's grab this is our little one-liner that we created. Go back to to the terminal. Let's paste it in and let's run it. Okay, and so we see that it's Ubuntu 18. Yeah, IPs with 5 octets. Yeah, we might not have the freaky IPv6. You're right. Why didn't they just make IPv4 with 5 octets? Why can't we just modify IPv4 to have 5 octets and just start backporting 5 octets? That would be funny. And then there you go, problem solved. We've just added exponential amount of IP addresses. Okay, so the box has way too many things on it, but we established last time that it's the cron. It's a cron job, and that's the problem. So we're going to do a split view. Split view. Yeah, exactly. Make more streets, make more paths. But I will admit, though, after working in tech for a long time, I'll tell you, once a technology takes hold, it's really hard to change it. Like once everyone starts using something and it's a standard, trying to change it just breaks so many things, and it is a real problem. There is coffee in this, by the way. Okay, so let's go over here, and I opened a second window so that we would be able to have SGPT over here on the other one. So let's ask it, how do I view the cron tab on an Ubuntu 18 machine? It's going to be the same probably on any machine, but any Linux machine. But all right, so it says cron tab L. So let's see if that works. Cron tab L. No cron tab for James. Oh wait, we have an Overpass user. Remember? I don't know if it's in the history rep SGPT. Yeah, remember we were doing the chat. I think we can do SGPT. Was it list chat? We need to keep learning. Let's try it because we need to keep learning. All right, so list chats. Nice. Okay, so it was just Overpass. Is that all it's called? All right, chat Overpass. Hello. Oh. Please give me a quick recap of the Overpass machine, CTF machine we were working on. All right. Oh, double quote. Okay. Let's see how this goes now. Good morning. Good morning, Pabst. Pabst? Certainly. Here's a recap of the progress on the machine. Sweet. So look, it does remember our conversation. So we need to keep using this. Remember, you can do conversations with SGPT and keep a conversation going about a particular topic, which is wonderful. Wonderful. So now I can tell it like, okay, SGPT chat. Gonna have to figure out how to make like a quicker like way to reference these, but it's all right. Okay, I have a foothold on the box. I am logged in with SSH. I believe there is a cron job we can exploit. How do I look at the currently active cron jobs on the machine? Question mark. All right, there we go. So nice to just be able to chat with it while you're trying to work on the CTF. And I feel like if people would use this, it would make them, I don't know, it doesn't feel like cheating, right? Like Chatgpt doesn't know how to beat this box. Actually, now that I say that, if we specifically went, oh man, now we got to check this, because I do wonder if I specifically ask Chatgpt about this box, if it actually already knows about this box and knows how to beat it already. We're going to do it just because I want to see what happens. Can you give me a walkthrough for the CTF box Overpass on Try Hack Me? Does it actually already know how to beat the box? Let's see. It's thinking. Okay, initial reconnaissance, enumerate the web server, directory, enumeration. Looks for an interesting directory such as admin. There is an admin on this box. Exploiting the web server. Find the login credentials. Exposed files might contain a password. If you found credentials. Yeah, it's not, you know, what's funny is it's not giving it away because remember we had to go to the login page. If we go back over here to the box for those of you who weren't here before. So let's see, you had to bypass the login page and you got the SSH key from it. So that's pretty wild. So it's been fed data. So in other words, some of the data that was scraped and put into the model was a walkthrough for this box. Because then if we go to privilege escalation here, use sudo L to check for anything it can run. Although I don't know if that's the right one for this one. I think if we do sudo L, we can't because we don't know the password for James. The James 13 is not the password, the real password for James. It was just the one for the encrypted SSH key. So anyway, interesting. All right. Well, let's see what we had over here for the cron jobs. Okay, for a specific cron job, for system-wide cron jobs, we need to cat etc cron job or cron tab, paste. All right, there we go. We've got cron jobs running. So let's see here. This is the one we want right here. Okay. So update builds from the latest code. All right. This is bad. Look at what it's doing. It is as root once every minute. By the way, that's what that means right there. Once every minute as root curl to overpass.tryhackme/download/source/build script and then pipe it directly into bash. So what you're going to do is you're just going to execute this code. Now let's take a second and talk about this. I'm going to put my cybersecurity hat on for a minute. And I'm going to talk about why this is so bad. And companies do this stuff all the time. So really, if you think about it, this is technically a supply chain attack. And the reason it's a supply chain attack is because this is a piece of code that you are trusting from a third party. Now, in this case, the third party would be, this is it within its own company, right? So you're thinking this is internal, probably. If you remember the story of this box, it's supposed to be a company that's developing an application, and this is the server running the application, and the developers are on a different machine. And so they're just like, oh, well, every minute we're going to check for new updated code. Well, that's still a supply chain attack because the supply chain is from the developer machine to the actual production machine. That's the supply chain. And the production machine is trusting the developer machine that it's giving it good code. So if you can poison the code on the developer machine, you have executed a supply chain attack against the production machine. Because this machine does no checks. In no way, shape, or form checks to make sure that that the build script is clean, is not malicious, is fine. There's no checks whatsoever. In fact, we're just gonna pipe it to bash and YOLO, we're just gonna run this code. Okay, so that's what they've got going here. We don't have access to this code. We don't need access to this code because we have access to this machine. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to do IPA. We already know what our IP address is. Our IP address is 10.6.87.8.88. Okay, so actually let's do this first. Let me go here. And we're gonna copy this and we're gonna talk to SGPT about it, and we're gonna tell it what we found, and we're going to tell it what we are proposing to do. Okay, here is the interesting cron job I found, colon. I'm just going to do that for now, and then we'll talk to it. The cron job you found is executing every minute as the root user, and then pipes it directly into bash for execution. This can be a significant security risk and a potential vector for privilege escalation if you can control the contents of build script. So here is how we could do it. We could modify build script, which we can't because we don't have access to that machine. We could do DNS hijacking, which is exactly what I was thinking. In other words, we're going to change the host file in here. So I'm gonna vim etc etc hosts. Let's do this first. Let's ls lah etc hosts, because we need to see. Yeah, so everybody has read write to etc hosts on this box. Normally, to modify etc hosts, I'm pretty sure you have to use sudo to do it, but in this case, the box is intended for you to be able to do this, so it doesn't work that way. Okay, so let's talk to it again. SGPT, whoops, over here. Let's tell it what we want to do. Man, I wish there was I need to set up some kind of system so that I can just like hit a button and just talk to it. So I want to, I have access to modify the etc hosts file to point overpass.tryhackme to my IP. So let's write a script that will open a reverse shell. Please show me an example of such a script. I'll get formal with it. All right, let's see. First, modify the etc host file, and then we can, here's the file we'd want to run, and that's it. This is all it needs to be right here. So let's do it, guys. Let's go over to, we're going to have to have this whole path though. It's not that big, it's just download source. Okay, so let's go over here, and we are using, let's close Overpass. We're in tools, we're in HTML, and we need new folder. What did I say? Downloads source. I think I can do that. And yeah. Okay. Let me make sure, let me verify that that was it. Downloads source. Yeah, and it's build script.sh. Copy. Back to, is this making sense? Is this clear as mud what we're doing here? If it's not, make sure you're asking me questions about it in the chat if you're not following what's going on here. So we're going to copy this script. It's very simple, nothing big. Let's go back over here. Here it is. Let's paste it. Paste. And then we're gonna let's see, we need to modify these. 10.6.87.88. Is that what I said it was? 10. I know I ran it. Yeah. 10.6.87.88. Yes, please do like and subscribe so Knox can reach more people. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Yeah, 10.6.87.88. Okay. Oh, wrong one. Back over here. Okay, so here And we're going to do the classic elite, because we're elite. Okay, so there's that. So we've got that done. So the script is done. Next thing we need to do is go back over here, and let's go ahead and start our remote our netcat. Netcat, Las Vegas, no problem. That's how I remember that. Las Vegas, no problem. LVNP. Okay, so we start our, there we go, there's our listener. And now we're going to go over here, and we're going to, we're going to modify Etsy host. So Vim, let me copy this real quick before I forget. Overpass, try hack me. Copy, Vim, Etsy hosts. Oh, it's right here. Okay, so, it's on this machine. Okay, so the script is on this machine because Overpass try hack me is this machine. Huh. So we could have probably just poisoned the actual script, but we might not have access to it. We'll go back and look in a minute. This is a much more fun way to do it because it's forcing you to think about things like this where you can poison the Etsy host file and really do some real damage. All right, so we saved that, and now we just wait for a second and just see if it worked right, if we did it right, because it runs once a minute. While it's doing that, I will do my obligatory look at my phone because I have to do about this time every morning. Let's see, is it popping yet? Almost done here with the phone. Okay, well, we did something wrong because we should have popped a shell by now. So let's verify that we've got this right. Downloads, source, build script. Oh, I know one thing we should do. We should go over here and see. We should see it trying to hit our server. We would see in the log here. Oh, and there it is. It did hit. Okay, well, that was great. We turned it over here just at the right time to be able to see it. So this is our HTTP server, and we see that it hit get source build script, and we did it right on the first try. I don't know how. I almost always mess up the path or something, and it got a 200, which means it was successful. So now if we go over here, there we go. There's our shell. It popped open. So now we are root. So now if we ls-lah, there we go. There's the root text. I already have it. We don't care. Let's check and see if there's is there an SSH key in this one? Yeah, there is. So let's change directory ssh.ssh. There's just an authorized key in here. There's not a actual key. We could make one real quick. Let's see. So if we did ssh keygen. SSH keygen, yeah. No passphrase. Okay, and then we LL, and now we cat ID RSA. I don't know if you've ever done this before either, because what we're doing here now is we're making a private key here. Copy. Now we're going to go back to cursor, overpass. We've already got new file, root ID RSA. Yeah, and now we're going to paste this. Okay, now we're going to go back to our console. Actually, we're going to have to go all the way over here. And LL. There it is, root ID RSA. We got to chmod it to 400. Remember, you have to chmod. You have to modify a RSS key to 400, or else Linux gets stupid. Let's look at what that looks like. There you go, ID RSA. 400 means that it's read-only, only to the owner. So only the owner has it, and only the owner can only read it. There we go. Let's go back over here, and where did we run the SSH to get into James? because I'm lazy, and we're going to steal it. All right, so we're going to steal this command. Not that we really have to, but we're going to paste it, and now we're going to modify it. So we're going to do root IDRSA, and we're going to change it to root, and we're going to see if we can just log straight in as root now. Oh, root doesn't have... What? We just used a key. Why is it asking for a password? Why? What did I do wrong? It shouldn't ask for a password. I guess maybe it is in the SSH config on the machine. Let's see. Vim etc. Damn it. SSH. Let's. Oh my gosh, I hate not having a real. Oof. SSH. There's just okay. SSH. Okay, and so there it is. SSHD config and SSH config. I don't know if we can Vim it from inside here. It's going to get ugly because we're doing a reverse shell. You ever tried to Vim in a reverse shell? It's not pretty. Oh man, here we go. It worked. Oh, it doesn't work. It's like terrible. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't work right. Password authentic. Look, we can cat it though. Cat SSH config. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to see if we can modify the SSH config real fast to say, hey, let root log in. I'm trying to see if there's a root login problem. So let's do this. Let's copy this. I don't know if I can go straight to my other machine here or not. Paste. Dang it, I don't think. Yeah, it doesn't go that way. I can do it to SGPT though. Let's see if I can do that without just totally destroying SGPT chat overpass. Oops. How do we modify this SSH config to allow root auth with SSH key? Please create a one-liner to modify the config. Let's see if that works. Sweet. Sometimes when you try to paste in like a whole thing like that into it, it really messes it up. To modify the SSH configuration to allow root login with an SSH key, you would need to ensure that the permit root login is set to without password or prohibit password, which allows root to log in, blah, 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 blah. Here's a one-liner to modify the SSH daemon configuration and allow. Okay. I have a feeling we'll probably have to... Oh, this command appends... to the SSHD config. Okay. And then restarts it. Oh, look at that. It even restarts the system for me. Nice. So let's copy that. Let's go back over here. In here, we're going to paste. We're going to run. Okay, it says it did it. Let's do sudo system control status SSHD. It says it's active. Quit. Okay. Now let's go over here. Now let's try to run. Oh my. Oh my. It still asks for password. Well, I'm not going to spend all day on it, but if we were going to try to get that, that's what we would do. I might be able to just change root's password. I think if you're root, you don't have to know the original password. Yeah. So new password. Yeah, okay. So I just changed his password for root. Maybe root, maybe it has root login turned off. Let's try this. Let's do one more thing here. SGPT chat overpass, and I'm gonna ask it, how do I switch to the root user from a regular user command line interface? And let's see what it says. Is it just, oh yeah, su root. Okay, let's try that now that we've reset his password. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get a real shell. Not a crappy shell. So let's go here. Su root. Password. There we go. Now we have a real shell. Okay, so now we're root, and we have a real shell, and we could do a lot of damage. We could create another user. We could mess with James and give James SU with no, permission. We could do all kinds of things. There's all kinds of stuff that we could do at this point because we have complete ownership of this machine. All right, gonna ask one more time. Any questions before we go on, or we got that? That make perfect sense. Does what we did there make sense? I guess for everybody at home, I will do this real fast because I feel like it's worth it. Let's go here and let's real fast just make a diagram of what we just did with the attack. Okay, so let me just start drawing here. All right, so here is the box we're on. This is Overpass. Okay, let's make this a little bigger. Oh, I didn't need that to be bigger. I want the text to be bigger. There we go. Overpass. Okay, so here's the box, and actually the box is Try Hack Me right now, but let's pretend it's not. So let's pretend that this is the box that has the web application on it. Web app. And because this will make more sense in a real world sense if we do it this way, we're going to call this Overpass dev, okay? And then also on this box is the cron job. The cron job that is pointing to the other box, right? So there's that one. Now let's duplicate. And then over here, let's say, oh, actually I did that wrong. This should be prod. Prod. And this is dev. And this is where the web development is happening, okay? And there is no, this is where the build script is. Okay, so the cron job reaches out to get the build script from the dev machine. and it's using curl, and it's trying to go to overpass.tryhackme. Okay? And because it's doing that, that's what's making it so vulnerable, because it's just reaching out to a DNS, and the host file is vulnerable over here to being poisoned. Now, what happens is the contents of build script come back to the machine, but the contents of it are unknown to this machine over here. And like we said, what we did, if I go up like this, is here is our box. Okay, we'll call it the attack box. And what we did is we wrote our own version of build script. So I'm going to say malicious build script.sh. Okay. I spelled malicious wrong? I did. All right. And then what we do is we man in the middle this. So we instead poison the Etsy hosts so that now when it curls overpass, try hack me, it goes to our box, and now our build script gets put on the box. So that's what we did. We did a man in the middle attack to point to us instead of them. And then when we got remote code execution, and that created the build script. So hopefully that makes sense for those of you that are watching there. But I wanted to do a little diagram there in case that wasn't quite you know. Yeah, I can't even spell malicious. I'm such a great guy. Okay, so there's that. All right, so let's today now for the rest of the time, we've got about 30 minutes left. We're gonna get out of this box, and while the box is still running, we're gonna work on some. I'm in the mood to work on some real automation today, so let's do that. So I'm gonna exit here. Okay, so for this, we're gonna go heavy duty. All right, so let's go back over here to GPT. And actually, I don't even want to use GPT for this. Let's. I really want to use Claude for it, but I'm really afraid it's gonna be a stick in the mud like it always is. So I guess we'll stay with GPT-4. Okay. Okay. I want to build a Python script that will run nmap, a quick nmap, and grab the top and scan the top 1,000 ports on a machine. I'm going to give it a lot of instructions here, guys. We're going to see how well it can follow the instructions. The script should use argparse. That's a Python library to pass in command line vars, variables, I for IP, and I can't use H for host because H is, we're going to use N for name, N for host name. Okay. The script should create a dictionary to keep track of information as we inspect. I don't know. As we work through the CTF. that way I'm signaling to it that this is a CTF. After the quick in-map scan, if port 80 or 443 are open, we're going to do that GoBuster thing. We should start GoBuster dir scans in a new Terminator window if you put the ampersand at the end of the GoBuster command, it will work properly, comma, trust me. Then we got a couple more things, and then we're going to see if it can, how well it can do all this. Then we should run a more in-depth in-map scan of the top 1,000 with SC and SV for OS detect and default scripts. I guess that's enough for now. We won't do this yet, but I also want to start a thread. I also almost wanted to start a thread that checks the GoBuster every, like, 30 seconds to see if new things have popped up. So let's see what it can do with this first. Oh, and as we get information back, we should update the dictionary. Go. Let's see what it does. Yeah, the path to that medium. Yeah, we will have to give it the path to that medium list eventually, but we'll figure that out once we get it going here. Let's see what it's able to create that fast. Okay, so it's got the quick in-map scan. It's got the GoBuster scan. Let's see if it got the GoBuster right. I can't pull it over yet. It's got update info into dict. In-map output. Okay, info dict in-map scan equals in-map output. Ooh, that's not really what I was hoping it would do. Let's see how this works. All right, explanation. All right, we're gonna just try it blindly. We're just gonna see how well it does just right off the bat. So let's copy code. Let's go to our cursor on this side of the world, right here. Let's go to, oh, this is the wrong cursor window, sorry. That's my other app I'm working on right now. This one is connected to the right thing. We need to open folder and go to repos. Actually, that's right. We use a open workspace, open workspace. Open workspace from file. I think it's in, is it in repos? There it is. That'll open us up here. Okay, let's make it a little bigger. And now let's close some of these because I got too many open before we do anything. There we go. Okay, and now let's go to, we got Overpass closed. Let's go to Tools, Scripts, New File. We're going to call this one Oh, we're going to call it RR for real recon. realrecon.py. Now we're going to paste it. Okay, so let's do just a little quick overview of it before we start letting Cursor help us with it. So there's, okay, user, share, word list, dir buster. We don't want common. We want, let's go back to our terminal here. Where'd it go? Where's our terminal in our window here? Terminal, there we go. So we want to ll or ls-lah user share wordless. You're absolutely right about wanting this medium. Wordless dir buster. Yeah. What is it? Oh, are we in the right spot? What? I don't. What am I doing wrong here? Dir buster. We got to go full dir buster. There we go. And we want this directory list medium.txt. Okay, there it is. So we want that. Oops. Okay, I think I got it. Now we can close this window. And now we're going to put this in here. Beautiful. Okay, so there's the word list. There's the IP. This is for weird. Oh, that's why I don't have it over here. I can see. Okay, GoBuster scan IP hostname. This is not going to work for. It's got the IP and the hostname. It's not. See how it's got HTTP? It needs to have like an if statement in here that's like if port 80 HTTPS or HTTP if port 443 HTTPS. We'll have it fix that in a minute. And then let's see. Then we have the in-depth scan, which is good. We want OA. We're going to want to put it out into a file too. So, comma, OA. And we're going to need a file name, which is going to need to be hostname plus nmap, right? We need a comma here, and we need a comma there. Okay. Oh, is hostname not a real? What is it? What? What is it naming it? Hostname. Oh, it's info. It's info dict. Okay. Copy. So that means that it's. That means that it's info dict. Hostname like that. I think. Why doesn't it like that? Info dict is not defined. So you have to pass in hostname. Okay. Oh my gosh. I apologize. This is why coding is fun. Because you have to like think about all this stuff. Did it update down here? Hold on. So we just said it has to have hostname there. This one has to have hostname. So how's it calling the scans down here? Info dict args hostname. Ew, it's using the args hostname. I guess that's fine. Copy. Where's the GoBuster scan? Oh, it already updated down here when I did that. Oh, good. Okay, so it updated. Okay. I mean, this will work, I think, right now, out of the box. It's definitely not going to be what we want. We just have to, this is one of those things where we got to make sure we run it. If we don't run it in the folder, though, it's not going to work right. We want to add a couple other things here real quick, niceties. So the first thing we want to do here is we want to do a shebang. Shebang. There it was. User bin environment Python 3. We definitely are going to want to try and decide if we want to give it a path for where we want it to store the notes, or if we want to just go to the Overpass folder and run it there. I guess we'll just do that for now. Let's pop over there and just at least try it out. Hopefully this is the least bit fun. If you're like, oh my gosh, Knox, this is the most boring thing I've ever seen, you know, let me know. Let's see. So change directory, notes. Is this where I've got it? Notes, tools, change directory, tools, scripts. Yeah, here it is. Okay, print working directory. Okay, change directory, .. Overpass. There we go. And then we want to do, I'll just do this. That way it works correctly. Oh, I've got to, okay, paste a chmod plus x, control E to go to the end, and rrpi. Okay. Now let's go control A to the beginning. Let's get rid of that. Better. Would it not be better if auto makes a new folder? Yeah, you could do that. We will get to that point. Yeah, because if you just run it at the base directory of notes, yeah, you're absolutely right. We'll do that after we do this test run here, right here. So, what did we say? I need to know what the IP address is of the Overpass box currently. So the IP address is 10.10.142.43, and the name is Overpass. And let's see if it's able to handle this and what it comes back with. Writing this kind of automation is a bigger pain in the butt than it feels like. I've done it many times. Missing one required position host name. Okay, this is on the in-depth nmap output on line 59. args IP in-depth nmap scan. args host name. Oh, okay. Huh, that's weird that it missed that. Let's do this real fast before we do anything else. Let's hit L. No, I don't want L. I want K. K. Please review this code for anything. I'm just going to say, please review this code. Let's just see if that's enough for it to like come back with some suggestions. Okay, it's fine. It says it's fine. Okay, so let's go back over here and run it again. We also didn't get our pop-up GoBusters. We should have got a pop-up GoBuster window. Huh. It says it was running a GoBuster scan, but that thing never popped up. Yeah. Let's go back over and take a look and figure out why. If TCP, so this must be the problem here. It's not finding it in here. Okay, if an nmap output. Let's print the nmap output. I want to see what that is. So here's the quick nmap scan. Where's nmap output at? Running the command, results, subprocess, print results standard out. Oh, okay. So it said it did, and we got it. Results equals return results. Okay, so quick in-map scan. Let's go back down here. In-map output equals, okay. Update the info dict if TC80 TCP open. What did it actually say? Yeah, I know. I agree with the whole like, yeah, you can have it. We can get. I've had one of these that I've written in the past that was super in the weeds and super in depth. So here it is. It's 80 TCP open. Copy. Let's go back. I don't like this, by the way, right now. I don't like it looking for this way. I would prefer if it just did it by regex. So that's what we're going to do. All right. Well, I'm going to go crazy here for a second. I guess we're just going to focus on the one thing here. We're going to focus on this quick in-map scan and this GoBuster scan, okay? So I'm going to do a Control A again, and I'm going to do a Control L again. Oh, not L. K. Modify yeah, exactly. Making sure that it starts in the right folders. Modify the check. Modify how we check the in-map output for open ports. Let's use regex. Feel like that's the right way to do this. Okay. Yes. GoBuster scan args IP. Okay, let's try it one more time. Let's see if we can get it to. And if it doesn't, I really just want to like almost start over again, because we actually made it too big too fast, and that's why we're having this problem, because we asked it to make something too large too fast. So we should have actually started with something small and then kept going, like we did with our shell script version that we have, where we do that. That is so weird. It says it's running the GoBuster scan. It is definitely not running the GoBuster scan. I don't understand why it's not running it. GoBuster. Here's the GoBuster scan. It says running GoBuster scan, but then it's not actually doing it. Port 43 or 443. What are you saying? GoBuster scan. I did. Did it? In-depth in-map scan. It didn't even run the in-depth in-map scan. It's just printing. It's not actually doing it, because it just like died. It's not actually running either of those. It just says print, and then it prints the statement, but then it doesn't actually do it, which I'm not sure why that's happening. It's all right. Your eye just caught that 43 and went, what? What is that? So it does this, and then it does this, and it says result equals subprocess.run, but it's not doing it. All right. Well, I'm about out of time for today anyway. Maybe we'll pick up and we'll do it the right way, like we did with the script, and we'll start really small. By the way, if we were going to do this right, what we would need to do is we need to make a config file that goes along with the script. Because, for instance, if I write this script and then I give it to you, you've got everything saved in a different place, right? You have your own notes folders and your own places that you want to store things. And so I would need to create a config file that would say, hey, here is the default location where you create all the new notes, folders, and blah, blah, blah. And that way when you run the script, like you said, you don't have to think about it. Once you've got that all set up, you can run it from anywhere, and it's going to save the stuff where it should save it. We're going to want it to save all the output files in that folder. So every time it runs an Nmap scan, every time it runs a GoBuster scan, we're going to want it to save those files. We're going to need it to probably open completely new windows and start new subscripts to do what we want to do. And we're also going to want to have probably subscripts that are where we are. I really want to have some automated conversation with the LLM, and that'll have to be a subscript. So we would make a subscript that would say, hey, a new file just came in, and now it would keep a running chat going. It doesn't have to be with SGPT. It could just be one of the APIs for like GPT-4. And every time we get a new piece of information in the folder, we have a little script that's watching the notes folder, and it says, oh, there's a new output from a new tool. Let's tell the LLM we have this new output, and then say, hey, we just got this new output. Can you update the automated notes, and can you update your suggestions for the next thing we should try to do on the box? So sounds like a lot of fun, something I know I want to work on. Maybe one of these days, like Friday or something, I may have time on Friday to do a longer stream, and maybe we'll kind of marathon like a 2 or 3 hour coding session on Friday morning or something. That would be kind of fun to just start from scratch and really see how far we could get in like 2 or 3 hours. So we'll see if you guys are up for that. Anyway, all right, well, I got to get going this morning, but this has been fun as usual. Hope you learned something, or at least it kind of gave you some ideas for some stuff for yourself. And I hope everybody has a great rest of their day. Go learn something. No problem. Don't forget to like that stream. Like that stream. Like it. I'm doing it too. My like counts too on my own stream. All right. See you guys.